Jake.
And I'm Christine.
And welcome to the 100th episode of Old School Trail Rounds.
Woo!
Yeah! I couldn't think of anything really special to do for the 100th episode aside from do a movie that comes after the 80s, like we did for our 50th episode, where we reviewed Battlefield Earth from the year 2000. This year, we're going to review the trailer for the 2001 gross-out comedy, Freddy Got Fingered by Tom Green. You ever seen this movie?
No, I just read this title though before you said it, and I was like, wait, what?
I'll explain the title after we watch the trailer.
Okay.
This is one of the most infamously bad movies of the past 20 years, and it actually is.
Probably because it was done by Tom Green.
It actually is almost 20 years old.
And where did he go?
He's still around doing podcasts and stand-up. But this was his first attempt at starring and directing in a movie, and as far as I know, the last. Here we go.
LeBaron. It's your boots, it's a LeBaron. This is number one son on the license plate. It's me, I'm the number one son.
Only his dreams.
To let go. Freddy got fingered.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have some work to do. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
We're real proud of it.
Where
Come up with a
the
better
freak did
title.
he figure this out of?
So, yeah. That's Freddy Got Fingered's trailer. Have you ever heard of this movie?
No. Just had to put a fun skate scene in. That would be awesome to shoot.
It's him doing all his own stunts. You apparently have heard of Tom Green.
Very much so.
Did you watch his TV show as a kid?
I did not. I didn't know he had a TV show.
How do you know about him?
How do I know about him? Because he was played in a couple different movies.
Road Trip.
Road Trip. Where
He had a
ate the lovely mouse.
He had a TV show in the 90s. Started out on Canadian public access, I believe. It was really popular, and then MTV brought him on.
Yep.
And he became like the #1 show amongst teenagers throughout the country. And then the show ended, I think because Green figured he had gone as far as he could with his shock humor. And then, due to his popularity, and because of Road Trip, movie studios were like, do you want to make a movie? And we'll let you write it and direct it. So he was like, okay, let's see what I can do. Yeah. What do I think of the actual film? Just take away from the trailer for a moment. It is bad, but it's fascinatingly bad.
But that's only because he is.
I wasn't expecting that to happen.
What went into making this, and what was the thought process?
Like, how either messed up was he? How creative is he? Like the piano playing thing? Who the freak thinks of that?
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
A twisted genius, maybe?
I guess.
Or a obnoxious asshole? To me, I think Tom Green's a little bit of both. You saw here in the trailer, he's acting obnoxious, like getting in people's faces. Like that part with the cheese thing.
Can you hear me? There's probably people in the factory that have been making cheese sandwiches their entire lives, and they're gonna look at me, 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 and they're gonna call me a loser.
No, you can't hurt me. Not with my cheese helmet.
Hello?
That was kind of Tom Green's shtick as far as I've been able to see. Like, I grew up after he was a thing, but...
Yeah, he was like kind of like before me. I think after you, yeah.
But most of his stuff is on YouTube, so you can go back and... you watch it, and part of you wonders, how was this ever popular? His humor was mostly about trying to annoy and make people as uncomfortable as possible. Usually random people that he came across on the street. Occasionally there were some funny bits, there was some cleverness, but there were also some parts that made you think, wow, what an ass.
I just need like a $5 bill. Would be good.
You're making a mess.
What's that?
What are you doing?
There was something he did right before Freddy Got Fingered that people thought showed his more sensitive side. Tom Green was diagnosed in 2000 with testicular cancer, and he had a surgery to remove the testicle as well as lymph nodes, and he was allowed to film it, and made a whole 1-hour special about it. Cancer awareness is something he takes seriously, and Freddy Got Fingered, it didn't do that well, I think. It came and went, but it's become a cult classic ever since. And it's got a bit of reevaluation. Like, a lot of people have come to really like it over the years.
Appreciate the humor a little differently.
Like, my best friend Mike told me, this movie's really funny, and so I was like, I trust Mike's judgment, I'll give it a chance.
I can walk backwards fast as you can. Another backwards man, the backwards man. I can walk backwards fast as you can.
What? God! Neighbor, you're doing it!
Most of the stuff they obviously couldn't show in the trailer. Like, there's a scene where he helps a woman give birth by literally ripping her baby out of her vagina, and to cut the umbilical cord, he bites it with his teeth. And when the baby doesn't cry, he brings it to life by swinging it around by the umbilical cord. And there's also a scene where, in the first 5 minutes of the movie, he encounters a horse at a stud farm. He sees it getting an erection, and for no reason, he jumps out of his car, runs up to it, and starts to masturbate it. And then later in the film, like,
The trailer definitely does not show all.
the trailer shows he has daddy issues.
Is your dad?
That's my mom!
Regency Enterprises presents.
In the film, he gets revenge on his father through various horrific means, one of which is masturbating an elephant and spraying his father with elephant jizz. Yeah, and no surprise, this movie almost got an NC-17 rating.
Yeah.
And Green appealed it, saying to the MPAA, that's like porn with murder. And I'm like, and your movie isn't?
Yeah.
You hear me?
I'm gonna make you so proud.
Make your daddy proud.
Proud. Get the bird away!
Funny enough, the trailer, I think, is actually funnier than the movie. Like, I watched the trailer, it actually makes it kind of look like it's worth my...
Yeah, lighthearted, fun, interesting.
Yeah, it makes it look worth seeing. Like, yeah, it shows his annoyingness, like the look at me, but also that stuff with, you expect people just to give you a TV show.
You want to just barge into a rich car and expect someone to give you a TV show?
I don't know.
Yeah?
This whole film almost feels like a metaphor for the way Tom Green is seen by everybody around him. Like, I'm not the first to say that, but yeah, it's a film where he plays a loud, obnoxious douchebag, and everybody is driven insane and wants to either hurt him or kill him. Although these days, he's kind of retired from the shock thing. Like, he was all about the shock humor and making a name for himself in that regard. But I guess after Freddy Got Fingered, he felt like he kind of had done everything he could.
Yeah.
Because one of the first big films he did after this movie was a family film.
Oh.
And it was actually pretty good, called Bob the Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Green's interesting. There's people that think he's a horrible comedian, that he's stupid. I don't think he's stupid.
Yeah.
I think his humor depends on your age and taste. Like, yes, it would probably annoy you, but you can see a bit of cleverness in there at times. And you can see he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Like, he thought out what he was doing and the reaction it would get.
He's a stupid!
Not stupid.
He's a stupid!
Not stupid.
He's stupid!
Not stupid.
You see him now, he seems like a pretty down-to-earth person.
Yeah. I think he has his own creative thought and application of that.
I bet you're wondering, why is this movie called Freddy Got Fingered? Because his character is not named Freddy.
No, it does not.
In the film, he has a brother named Freddy, and he has a bad relation with his father, played by Rip Torn, and fed up with his father, he decides to get revenge, so he accuses his father of molesting.
Yes.
Yeah, he goes, "He fingered him," and he says it like that, but more high-pitched.
He's a child molester! Ah!
And despite no evidence and the fact that it's coming from a raving psychopath, everybody believes him.
Yep.
And they institutionalize his 24-year-old brother in an institute. It's called the Institute for Sexually Molested Children. And there's so much nightmare fuel in this movie. The day after I saw this film, I actually had a nightmare that featured a dead baby, and I was, and I was like, why was I dreaming? And then I remember what movie I saw, and I'm like, oh yeah.
That's why.
Freddy Got Fingered.
I think I could have come up with a better title.
Sounded all like something you might see.
Probably not.
Yeah, I figured. I won't hold it against you. Well, that was the 100th episode of Old School Trailer Hounds, and hopefully I can make this work in the editing, and thank you for watching, anyone who's stayed along this long, and thank you for sticking around this long as well, Christine.
Anytime. Happy to be here. Ah, I'm gonna go.
Woo! We'll be back next week, and until then, maybe go back and check out our greatest hits.
Ooh.